All right. Okay. Very good evening. Sorry, very good morning, guys. Can you let me know if you can hear me clearly and see a screen? Yes. Let me know on the chat box if you can hear me, see a screen. Yeah. Right. Okay. Perfect. So for the 2022 batch, I think we've had a small break, right? We've had didn't have classes for some time, and now we are back for the final seminar, right? So the plan for today, guys, I'll take the first 15 minutes to kind of run you through what will happen in this seminar and how you can make the best use of it. And I'll also give you all a small plan, right? I'll just tell you all, what I did when I was doing A levels, right? During the last, I think, how many days now? There's around 20 days to go, right? During the last 20 days, what did I do, right? And how that helped me to get into the top 15th island. So a little bit of tips, right? Tricks to, let's say, manage your time well and get things done, right? So most of you all guys, you all might be at different levels when it comes to econ, right? Some of you all right now are very confident, right? You all know for definitely that you're going to get that A. Some of you all, are on the other end of the story, right? You all are somehow trying to pass the exam. Then there are some in the middle. So there are different people at different levels, right? And I'm pretty sure, guys, that this seminar series of 5 days is going to help you to somehow, right? Definitely will help you pass the exam and somehow, at least get around 5 to 10 more marks than your current level. So listen to the few tips that I have at the very beginning, right? So, okay. Okay. First of all, before I give in the tips, right, about the final seminar, guys, this final seminar, like you all always know, there is 5 days. This is day number 1, right? So you all know that there are 5 days. And what are we going to do in these 5 days? I have communicated this PDF with you all, guys. I passed it to you all. So this is day number 1. Today is the 3rd of January, the Tuesday. We're doing unit number 1, 2, and 3. I have shared the PDFs on the group. So you all would have realized, guys, that the PDFs are not complete PDFs. There are blanks. So just reading the PDF alone is not going to help you. You have to be there with me, be there for the discussion, right? There are certain diagrams. There are a lot of things that you need to, jot down, right? So I understand. I'm very sorry because I sent the PDFs very late. I had to, make a final few adjustments and it took some time. But for the next few sessions, for all those who are registered and paid, at least 1 or 2 days before, I will upload the documents into your website, right? So that you can access. So don't worry about that. So today is day number 1, right? We go until around 12 today, right? So we cover unit number 1, 2, 3. Then there is session 2, that is this Friday, where we will be doing unit 4, 5, and 6. This Sunday, we have an interesting session that's on the current issues and all the statistics. So I will summarize all the statistics that you can, that might come up on your paper. That's in terms of the government revenue, government expenditure, exchange rates, right? BOP stuff. Let's say, employment, unemployment rates. So all of it, I will summarize it into one document. Plus, I will also summarize all the current context questions, right? Now, if you look at Sri Lanka this year, it's in a crisis, right? So there can be a lot of questions based on this situation that can be tested in your paper. It might come, it might not come, that we don't know. But on our end, it's good to go prepared. So what I will do is I'll summarize as much as possible questions that I have in mind that may come up on your paper on Sunday, right? Along with the statistics. And then on the 10th and the 12th, we'll do units 7 and 8. Those are 2 big units, right? Money and banking and public economy. And on the last day, 12, we'll do unit 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's how the seminar series is planned out, guys. The entire thing will be online on Zoom, right? And the first day is free. That's what most of you all are here for. And if you are continuing for the seminar series, if you wish to continue for the entire series, guys, there is a payment of a 3,200 that needs to be made. All the details, guys, are available on the PDF that I have sent. So what are we going to do in this seminar, right? The main thing that I will be doing is I will be covering all 12 units with the most probable questions. Now, you all would have had a small idea because I sent you all the PDFs of unit 1, 2, and 3. So likewise, we will be doing it for all 12 units. So what I will be doing is I have the several PDFs, not very long, guys. This is the summarized version of the most important things, right? So today we will be discussing unit number 1, 2, and unit number 3. And then in the days to come, we will be doing the other units. That is one main thing that we will be doing. In addition to this, once the seminar series ends, please can I just to check with you all, how many of you all are done with your past papers, guys? You all are done with past papers, done with, maybe mock exams. Now you're looking for something else to do. You have nothing to do now. Are you in that kind of a situation? Yes, you've done all the past papers, done everything. Now you have nothing to do, right? So there are certain students like that as well, right? Who have already finished their past papers, they've done all this thing. So for those kind of students, what am I going to do is I'm going to make you all some model questions, right? Based on the past papers. I'm going to take now my aim during the mock exam series, which we did in the last few months, was to make the question as hard as possible, right? So here I'm not going to do that. In the model questions, right, that I'm going to give you all. Now this I will not be discussing, guys. I'll give you all the question and the answer. It will be uploaded onto the website. So these questions, guys, will be similar to past paper questions. I will change the question, right? Now, for example, if there was a calculation in the paper, in the past paper, I will change the numbers. So what am I trying to do is make you more familiarized with the exact type of questions that can come in your paper. So I'll give you all around, I'm targeting around maybe at least per unit, around 5 to 10 questions, right? So that you all can, take around 4 or 5 days and do all those questions. That's just to, practice again and again. So I'll be giving that to you all as well, but that I'll be giving it to you all once the mock exams, once the final seminar series ends, right? That will be available on your website. And in addition to that, guys, you all would have seen already, for those who are paid and registered, there are a few model papers for unit number 1, 2, and 3, right? To be honest, guys, these are papers that I did for the 2023 batch. But I feel that even you all can make use of it, because unit number 1, 2, and 3 alone gives you 90 marks in your paper, right? You get 3 essay questions and you get around 15 MCQs. So 15 MCQs is 30 marks. 3 essay questions are 60 marks. So in total, we are looking at around 90 marks from just unit number 1, 2, and 3. That is the units that we're doing today. So I have compiled around 11 model papers. These are small model papers, guys, right? The recordings of the explanation is also there. Maybe model paper 1, the recording is not there. So you don't have to watch the recordings of all the classes, guys. The question is there. The answers are there. You can attempt the paper. You can check your answer. If you don't understand a certain part, then you can go and watch the recording. So that is there for you all. That's additional material which will be uploaded. And also I'll be giving you all a past paper checklist, guys, right? I will give it to you all shortly. And in addition to that, I'm also preparing a past paper analysis. I have kind of prepared this, right? I just need to do the formatting. So I'll just show you all the document. So what I have done is I have summarized all the questions that have come every year from 2011 all the way to 2021. So starting from question number 1, right? So on question number 1, now I have colored it based on the which unit is this question from. So all the questions on light blue are from unit number 1. So you can also have a look and you can see, these are the questions. Now I have also individually analyzed all the questions. So based on that only, I have prepared the most probable questions. I have checked, what the examiner has been asking, right? What have they not asked for some time, right? So based on that only, these documents also have been prepared. So you all can also have a look. I have a summarized version. Once I finalize this, it will be uploaded onto the website. So all the blue ones are from unit number 1. Then you have the questions from, let's say, unit number 2. Yeah. So all of this will be available in your LMS for all those who pay and register, right? So likewise, there is a document as well. Then I'll also be uploading certain videos, guys. There are certain areas that I can't be explaining fully because we don't have time in the final seminar, right? Now, for example, things like the price effect, right? Substitution effect, income effect, how does it work for a normal good, inferior good, different good, right? I'll be uploading a video on that. Some of you all already have it. Maybe a few videos on exchange rate graphs and also maybe credit creation. So if any of you all guys, if you all have difficult areas, now maybe it's an area that I can't cover in like 10-15 minutes. Maybe it's an area that takes around half an hour, 45 minutes, right? If you're a paid and registered student, request that in the group, right? I will look into one of my theory or revision class recordings where I did that, and I will upload it into your website so that you all can self-learn that and watch it. And also, the 2015 to 2021, all the past paper recordings. This is the ones that I did for in Beyond the Classroom, right? So all these recordings, right, will be uploaded. So from 2015 to 2021, all the past papers unit wise has been discussed. We have done this, and all those recordings will also be there in your website. This material, guys, it will little by little start to upload this, right? So it doesn't have to, we don't have to wait until the very last day, but very soon, right? Once it's uploaded, I will inform you all on the group. So that is the kind of areas that I'm planning. No, guys, model papers, I'm only looking at unit number 1, 2, and 3 for now. Okay. So these are the material, and this is what is covered in the final seminar series, because I don't want to overload you all with too much also. I don't want to do too little as well, right? Yes, I'll do unit number 11 and 12 in BYC. I'll let you all know. Okay. So that's the plan, guys. That's the plan for the entire seminar series, and that's what we will be doing. So today is day 1, like I mentioned once again, guys. The fee is 3,200. If you are planning to continue for the entire seminar series, you can do. And also, if anyone wants to join for just one session, right, the fee is 1,500. So you all can do that as well. If you're only interested in session number 5, you can join for session number 5. But I would recommend, guys, rather than joining for just one session, it's better to join the entire thing, right? Past paper recordings, guys, MCQs and essay questions. It's everything. The complete paper from 2015 to 2021. Right. So it took a few minutes, right? Is that clear, guys? Is that all right? Fine. Any questions, problem? Okay. Yes, 11 and 12, I'll be doing the past papers. Don't worry. The recording of these sessions, yes, guys. So recordings of these sessions for all those who pay and register will be available on our website, right? So don't worry. Even if you miss, even if it clashes with anything else, it's always there, right? So there are a few tips, guys, right? A few things that you need to do in your last few days. Now you all have 20 days to go, okay? So to build in some confidence, some of you all would have already, right? Some of you all would have already received. I've paid, but I still haven't received your password. If you already have an account, then it's the same password, right? Same email password. If you joined newly to my classes, then you should have got a message. Right? Just inform the admin. We'll sort those out later. Okay, right. So in addition to this, guys, right, now I'm going to give you the best tip that you have to focus on, right? Is if you analyze now, right? I'm telling this to you because I have done past papers. I have analyzed all the past papers, right? So each and every year, right, which question came, which MCQ came, I have analyzed it, right? So I'm telling you the good news is in your paper, at least 80% of the questions, right? At least, right? At least 80% of the questions that are going to show up on your paper are going to be the exact same past paper turned around a little, right? That is how the examiner makes papers, right? They will take the same past paper. If it's a calculation, they might change the wording a little. They might change the numbers. If it's a, maybe a essay question, they just change the way that they ask, right? So for example, in one year, they would say, explain economic efficiency, right? In another year, they would say, all points on the PPC are economically efficient. Do you agree? Explain, right? Another year, they will say, explain the 2 conditions necessary for economic efficiency. Same thing, right? What do? Is they turn it around, guys, right? So I'll guarantee you this. You do all past papers, you will realize that at one point, right? It's the same past paper that they twist around. So if you have not done your past papers, if you're not 100% familiar, forget about model papers, even forget about the model papers I have given you in this, right? Forget about those, forget about other mock exams. Your first priority has to be to get all the past papers done, right? So that is the first most important thing, guys. Please don't do anything else without doing past papers. If you're done with your past papers, fine. Do the Western Province paper, Central Province paper, mock exam papers, completely fine, right? But all of that has to happen after doing your past papers. So from minimum 2011 to 2021, right? So I remember when I was doing A-levels, I did in 2017. I did it from around 2002 to 2016, I think, because we did not have papers before. So on your end, you can maybe right? To become the expert of past papers, you can even do from 2002 to 2021. There's around 20 odd papers there. Those 20 papers, guys, I'll tell you, will definitely cover 80% of what you're going to get in your one, right? It can even go to around 90% of the question. So there will be certain new questions, guys, right? There will be certain new questions. That's why I said not 100%, around 80 to 90%. So then, guys, now if you look at it, now you will wonder, so these are the old syllabus. Why are we doing this? Yes, I'll tell you, right? The only change that the government does in terms of the syllabus is they add in a few new things, they remove a few new things, right? They split the units, they combine some units. That is what they do as a syllabus change. The content that you study is the same. Scarcity, opportunity cost, demand, supply, production, BOP from 2002 all the way until now, it's the same, guys. So maybe the current context questions might not be relevant. Now, if you take 2002 and if they ask what were the reasons that there was a BOP deficit, maybe those reasons might not be the same. But you can apply it to the current year, right? You can see, maybe what if this question comes in my year? What am I going to write? So on your end, guys, be fully thorough with all the past papers. And for those who have not done it, right, I would recommend you go unit wise. Don't try to do the entire 2002 paper, then do the 2003. No, right? So what you can do is go unit wise, right? Pick maybe the 5 most important units that you're going to write for your essay paper, paper 2. So let's say unit number 1, 2, 3, let's say 7 and 8, right? So, okay, question number 1, 2, 3, 6 and 7, right? So what I want you all to do is, right, maybe start from 2011 or even before. What you should do, guys, is start from unit number 1, do all the unit number 1 MCQ, right? So you start with 2011, there may be around 4 or 5 MCQs from unit number 1, do those 4 or 5, then mark it, go and see where you went wrong. What are the new things that you can learn? Done. Then you go to 2012, do the unit number 1 MCQs. There may be around another 5. It might take you around 15 minutes, right? Go and check the answers, mark it on yourself, right? By yourself. And then plan it out. So same way, you keep on doing it over and over and over again. By the time you come to the 2021 paper, you will realize almost 80-90% of the questions have already been tested before. There's like one new MCQ that they have asking in a different way. Same thing, do it with the essay question. Start with the 2011 essay question, right? Do the unit number 1 paper question, correct it, see where you went wrong, go to the 2012. Done, go to 2013. So this, guys, you're not too late, right? I'll tell you, I did this around 2-3 weeks before A-levels, and I've recommended my students to do it way beforehand itself, right? So for a unit, you can maximum take 1 to 2 days. That's the maximum, guys. Now, you can't be taking 5-6 days to do 1 unit. Now, for example, MCQs, you can finish it in around 3-4 hours, guys. Now, you all are not babies now. You all have done unit number 1. So, take all the unit 1 MCQs, 2011 to 21, or even before, you can start doing. Do all the unit 1 MCQs, that area is done. Then go to the essay quest. So likewise, you move on, guys. That will build confidence in you. Definitely, it's going to build confidence in you because you're going to realize, the same question is coming. The moment you realize that the same question is coming over and over and over again, then, right, automatically your confidence is built. And trust me, guys, it's going to work. Okay. For part 2, if you have not written answers, you can try and write. If you have written, maybe you can do some reading. Yes, so if you all are, yes, I'll tell you, right, if you are looking at just passing the exam, focus on past papers alone, right? If your aim is to just get a C or a S and pass, past papers alone is going to be more than enough. Okay, right. Yes, 2000 to 2008, I have a book. I'll try to scan it and upload the answer. Okay, I'll put it onto my Google Drive. Okay, so that's the basics, guys. Yes, this seminar is especially targeted for those who are looking at getting an A and getting beyond. But I'm just telling you because there are some people who are just looking at passing as well. Okay. So don't worry, right? So along the way, I'll give you all some tips as well, right? Focus on this. You can definitely get it done. Part two, if you have written answers already, you can do some reading. If you feel that you have not written, then yes. Yes, guys, for all the sessions, if you have paid and registered, for all the sessions that you missed, the recording will be given. Recording is uploaded onto our website, right? Every paid and registered student has a username and a password where you can log in. You can watch that recording any amount of times, but make sure you don't share your account, right? If the recording is accessed at multiple locations in multiple devices, your account gets blocked, right? Automatically, sometimes it can get blocked, and then there is no way of recovering, and then don't come back and say my recording is blocked. We are not going to sort it for you. So as long as only you use your account, it should be completely fine, right? So that is the basics, right? Today is day number 1. We'll start and we'll get things done, right? Yes, guys, we'll definitely focus on getting an A, right? That's the whole target, right? But not just the A, we'll try to focus and get something more than an A, right? Because why do we settle for 75 when we can do way more, right? So we'll target, right? I'll give you all some tips along the way. This is till day 1, right? I'll give you all the most probable questions. I'll give you all the areas that can be tested, and we'll get going, right? So we'll start with unit number 1, guys. Any questions, anything else before we start? There are so many questions, guys. That's over here. Unit number 9 and 10, yes, it's a combined question. I'll talk about it when we do unit number 10. Can you get an A? Definitely, right? Yes, focus on the past papers. Trust me, guys, focus on your past papers. You can get these done. Yes, these PDFs, I shared it multiple number of times in all the groups that I have, right? So for the seminar series, guys, you will not get printed things because it takes time, right? It takes time to print and, courier and all, because if there are delays, then there is no point. That's why I'll be sharing PDFs. Only for the first session, I shared on the group, guys. From the next session onwards, it's a password protected PDF that will be uploaded onto your LMS. But just having the PDF alone is also not going to help because the PDF is blank, right? Yes, guys, you can print it on your end, definitely, right? You can get it printed. Yes, anyone who printed these papers, no? If you were lucky enough to have a printer at home, you could have. Some of you all would have, right? So I understand that not everyone has a printer at home. That's okay, because I also sent it in the last moment, right? So complete, sorry on my end. So for those who don't have, right? So those who don't have the, okay, no ink. No, I don't have paper. I have ink. I don't have paper, right? So I'll clarify all other questions, guys, at the end of the session, right? So we'll get started. So for those who don't have a printed copy, which most of you all don't, right? You can have a small, a rough sheet of paper, or maybe like a couple of A4 sheets, or maybe a full scap or two to jot down notes. Later, once you get it printed, you can, make your notes. Okay. But hereafter, for the other sessions, at least 2 days before, I will upload the PDFs onto the website. Once I do, I will send a message on the group, and, once that is done, you all have time. You all at least have 1 day to get it printed. Okay, right. No, I don't have a multiple model. Right. So, okay, we'll start with unit number 1, introduction to economics. Right. Now, for every unit, guys, I've given a small comment, right? An overall comment on my end on usually what can be tested and what has been tested. Now, if you look at unit number 1, right, overall, the question is easy. And almost every student does unit number 1. Now, my recommendation, guys, if you are a student looking at getting a very high A, right? Getting, let's say, 95, that kind of level, I would recommend you to avoid theory questions and rather do the calculation. Why? Because if you are at a 95 level student, that means your calculations, you're very good at it, right? So if you do the calculation correctly, there is no way that the examiner can cut marks. But if you are a student, looking at passing, then the theory questions are better, because if you make a small mistake in the calculation, the entire thing can get wrong. So be careful. So I remember me, right? I was targeting for a level of 90, 95. In my year, or in general, I don't write the unit 1 question in my paper, right? That's my personal opinion, right? Even though I'm really good with unit number 1, I still don't write it, because I feel the examiner can cut some marks because it's theory, right? Because theory questions, maybe sometimes if you do something crazy, right? maybe the examiner might, out of 4 marks, they might only give you 3. So that's only for people who are targeting the 95 level now, right? 90, 95, the iron rank level. Those kind of people have that in mind. But for the ones who are looking at a normal A pass and all of it, right? Please go and do unit number 1 if you feel that you can do it. Okay. So if you look at the question for unit number 1, guys, overall, it's the same questions that have been tested, right? What has been tested, I have put it over here. I'll talk about those, right? But in the recent years, if you look at the essay question, the examiner has tried to, right? The examiner has tried to make the question a little practical, right? Go and check last year's paper. Go and check these 2 questions, 2020 and 2021, the recent papers that we have, right? So in 2020, they talked about something. In 2021, remember, last year there was a story about, a plot of land, right? You can use it for, this and that. And through that, they told you to explain scarcity, choice, opportunity, cost, right? So that's a hint the examiner is giving. Look here, I'm no longer going to test very direct questions. So please come prepared next year for some practical questions. Now, the examiner gave that hint from unit number 1 and in the unit number 4 question. So maybe in your year, right, the practical question, just give me a second, hold on. You can hear me, right? Yes. Who is my thumb going?